In this video, I'm going to talk about the setup and the swing and the finesse wedge shot. So, first of all, let's talk about the grip. So, I like a very weak grip, especially in the right hand. The traditional grip maybe is a little bit stronger, and what that'll encourage is more of a setup this way. And anytime we're tilted back for the short game shot, we might have the tendency to bottom out a little bit early, a little bit behind the ball. So what we want to do is get that right hand up on top, a very weak right hand grip. And if you want to make that left hand grip weak as well, I'm good with that. But the right hand is for right-handed golfers, is really turned more counterclockwise on the grip, so a little bit more on top. All right, so my setup, I'm going to have a very narrow stance. Again, if I get a real wide stance, number one, I'm going to have a tendency to tilt back. Number two, a wide stance is really set up for a power sequence instead of a finesse sequence. The difference between a power sequence and a finesse sequence might be if I'm playing outfield for the Rockies and I need to throw the ball into second base, I'm going to wind up and I'm going to use my body and my legs, and there's going to be a power sequence. If I'm playing shortstop and I need to throw just a little ball toss to the second baseman for a double play, that's more of a finesse sequence. You can see I'm really not using my body and my legs a whole lot. So we're going to use that concept to hit short game shots as well. So part of that is going to be a pretty narrow stance, so you can measure that by putting a club head between your feet. I'm going to turn my left foot out a little bit. Flare my left foot out. That's going to support my upper body turning toward the target. Later in the swing we'll talk about. And then I'm going to back it up a little bit, so it's going to be slightly open. And when I get set up, I don't want to be tilted back at all like we would with a full swing. In fact, I might even tilt a little bit this way. An image that I use sometimes is a laser light coming out of your chest. When you get set up, you're going to turn to the left and point your laser light in front of the golf ball. So it's going to feel very much like the shoulders are level, or even the left shoulder a little bit low. And what that does is that helps you get the bottom of the swing arc on the target side of the golf ball. Again, we're looking for solid contact. You're going to make contact with the ball and then the ground. So we've got a weak right hand grip. We've got a narrow stance, right foot flared and backed up a little bit. We've got the shoulders tilted. And that's how you get set up for a finesse wedge. And what I'd like you to do is rehearse that in front of the mirror. All right, now we're going to talk about the basic swing for the finesse wedge. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to, if you have a club in your hand, go ahead and put it on the ground. We've already got set up with the left foot flared, backed up a little bit, and we're nice and stacked with our upper body over our lower body. Now if you put your left hand behind your back, put your right hand in front of you, and what I want you to do is feel the hitchhiker thumb up. So we're going to fold the right arm and get that hand to rotate open. So hitchhiker thumb up, and then I'm going to come through with just a little ball toss motion. So if I toss a ball, I'm going to swing my arm, and then my chest is going to rotate toward the target just to kind of support the motion, just like that. So hitchhiker thumb up, ball toss. Now I'm going to put my left hand there, and that becomes my finish shot, or my finish position for a finesse wedge. So once I've done that a few times, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to choke up down close to the metal here. I've got hitchhiker thumb up. I'm going to swing the club, put my left hand on there. So the hitchhiker thumb up concept, what that does is that ensures that my elbow folds and the club face rotates open. Both of those are key things for being able to use the bounce, being able to expose the bounce. So if I get my right elbow to move away from my body, you see that club face is closed, and I'm going to stick it in the ground. So you want to be able to rotate that face open during the backswing. That way you can hit the ground and hit the bounce into the ground. Swing the club over here, put your left hand on, there's your finish. So the sequence for this finesse wedge shot is, on the downswing, is club first. So I've got my setup, narrow stance, left foot flared and backed up a little bit, stacked upper body, weak right hand grip. Now in the backswing, I'm going to open the face. Now the downswing is very much, it'll feel like a casting. I'm going to cast the club, and the sequence is club first. I want to bring that club back to where it's fairly vertical with the ground so I can use the bounce to hit the ground, and then as I come through, my upper body's just going to turn through to support that motion. If I don't do that, it'll look very much like that, becomes flippy. So again, the sequence is club first, body support later. The tension level for this shot is very low. So I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, my tension level is probably like a 3. And I'm just going to allow gravity to kind of take over and help me swing the club. So that's a quick overview of the Finesse wedge setup and swing. And I hope this helps you to hit better short game shots.